desperately pedaling your mom's bike today. And then you went into a discount shop, right? It must be tough for poor people to save money every day, isn't it?
Were you following me? Could you please stop doing things that are like stalking? It's creepy.
Who would stalk a poor person like you? I was just following you for a bit because I found it amusing.
If you were a guy, I would report you to the police for stalking.
Observing poor people has become my recent hobby. Well, please forgive me.
So you're engaging in unproductive activities and hobbies, huh? Besides, I'm not as financially troubled as you think, Maya.
Oh, no. And just the fact that you're shopping at a discount shop, it confirms that you're poor.
So does that mean everyone who goes to a discount shop is considered poor?
From my perspective, they're not just poor, but extremely poor.
What's extremely poor? It's the first time I've heard that term.
It means the highest level of poverty. So, Nicole, it means you're a super impoverished person.
And could you stop assuming I'm poor without knowing anything? And just so you know, at least I'm not struggling for money as much as you.
Oh, no. That's something people from the lower floors of the apartment tower would say.
Even in those lower floors, the prices are still substantial, you know?
But compared to the top floor, it's not a significant amount, right?
Oh, well, yeah, but...
So that means I win. Too bad.
I wasn't even competing, though. It's not really my place to say, but you should be careful with excessive spending. If you continue like this, you might face difficulties in the future.
What? Elites living on the top floor of a tower like yours won't struggle for money, right? My husband is a company president, and his annual income exceeds $300,000, right? How about your husband, Nicole?
My husband's annual income is not relevant, right?
It's because my husband's salary is significantly higher. Are you too embarrassed to say it?
It's not that, but if I were to mention it, it could lead to complications, so I deliberately choose not to say it.
What do you mean? Well then, where can we find someone with an annual income of $50,000?
If someone earns $50,000, they wouldn't be considered poor, right?
Oh, no. From my perspective, anyone earning less than $100,000 per year is considered poor.
If you say that, almost everyone would be considered poor. Do you know the average annual income in America?
There's no need to know that. But instead, listen to this. Today, I bought a Gucci wallet and a Chanel bag. Tomorrow, I'm planning to buy a Dior necklace.
Are you okay with buying so much? Isn't life difficult for you?
What are you talking about? I have more than enough money. I can afford to buy as many luxury brand items as I want. Well then, I'm going to a high-end French restaurant for dinner now. Excuse me.
Okay. 1 week later.
What's with your outfit today?
Huh? Did I dress so strangely? I thought it was just normal.
Other mom friends were dressed in a way that seemed poor, but you stood out as the poorest, Nicole. You weren't wearing any accessories, and your clothes, bag, and shoes were all plain.
I don't care what you, Maya, think about my appearance. I'm fine. I just don't like flashy outfits like you.
It's not flashy, it's stylish. Didn't today's Chanel getup look great on me?
The pattern was too loud. It stood out a lot. People around us were staring, and it made me feel embarrassed too.
They were simply mesmerized by my beauty, you know.
If you think so, then it's fine. Anyway, it's better to stop assuming and looking down on people as if they're poor without any reason. The other mom friends also feel uncomfortable about it.
Are you jealous of me, a wealthy person, just because you're poor?
I'm not jealous at all. I just feel a bit sorry for you, that's all.
What's wrong with my situation? You're just saying that out of envy, aren't you? The world in which you, a poor person like yourself, and I live is completely different. I dress myself in luxury brands and live on the top floor apartment. Are you envious?
But don't you have a debt of $100,000?
Huh? How do you know about that?
I heard the details from your mother, Maya.
Huh? She revealed that?
Since you were behind on rent, I went to inquire about the situation. I coincidentally encountered your mother at that time, and she shared your situation with me. Maya, you've been begging your mother for money multiple times.
My mother? Did she tell you that I have $100,000 in debt?
When I said I wanted to know the details, she told me. Maya, you even incurred a debt to buy luxury brand items?
That's not true. Buying luxury items alone wouldn't accumulate to $100,000, obviously.
That's true. Your mother, too, mentioned that she doesn't know specifically how you're spending your money. Why did you end up with a debt of $100,000?
I don't need to tell you about that. Don't meddle in people's private matters.
Well, I won't pry into how you're using it. When will you pay this month's and last month's rent?
Hold on a moment. How do you even know that we're behind on rent?
It's because I'm the property manager of this apartment complex.
What?
If you continue to be 3 months behind on rent, you'll be forcibly evicted. Are you aware of that?
No. You're poor, but you're the property manager of this apartment? It's gotta be a lie, right?
It's true. If you think it's a lie, check the contract. I think my name should be written there too.
The contract is managed by my husband. I don't know where it is. Besides, contract-related matters seem complicated, so I've left it all to my husband.
So your husband manages the finances too, right?
Well, for the most part, my husband takes care of it.
So does that mean your husband transfers the rent every month?
No, that's not it. I'm giving a living allowance and rent every month. I transferred it by the due date.
Wait, are you saying you used the money that was given to you for something else? So does that mean you haven't made the rent payment?
Well, I have various expenses to take care of. More importantly, are you really the manager of this apartment complex, Nicole?
I'm telling you, it's true.
But Nicole, don't you live on a lower floor? And someone who shops at discount supermarkets like you, I just can't imagine you being the manager of this apartment complex.
We live on a lower floor because my husband and I have a fear of heights. And just because I shop at discount supermarkets doesn't mean I'm poor. Even celebrities use 100 yen store dishes, you know? I've heard about it.
But this high-rise building is quite luxurious for this area, isn't it? Who are you, Nicole, really?
My husband owns several properties, and he entrusted me with managing this apartment complex.
Wait a minute. So your husband owns properties other than this high-rise building?
Yes. The A apartment nearby is also owned by my husband.
A apartment is quite a sizable property too. So, is your husband like a CEO or something?
That's how it is for now. My in-laws are in the real estate business, and my husband learned the know-how from his father. He started his own business afterward. Besides managing the apartments, he's also involved in online business and investments.
What about his annual income? Is it over $300,000? Or even more?
I don't know the exact number, but he mentioned that it exceeded $500,000 last year.
$500,000! But Nicole, you're also working, right? So how much is your combined income as a couple?
It's around $600,000 or so. The amount fluctuates each year, so I can't give you a precise number.
You're incredibly wealthy compared to me. And you also have a personal annual income of around $100,000 or so. Are you some kind of wizard?
We're living in an era where women are making strides in society. It's not strange at all for women to work hard and earn a good income.
Then why were you always focused on saving money when you had the means?
I believe in saving money where I can. It's more meaningful to have savings for when you actually need to spend it. Both my husband and I don't enjoy wasting money on unnecessary things.
By the way, I've heard that people who actually have a lot of money tend to be stingy. Nicole, you're the perfect example of that pattern.
We do spend money on necessary things. We just don't throw money away on frivolous things.
I see. Nicole, you have an interesting perspective. If it were me, with that much money, I'd probably spend it all on luxury VIP clubs.
Maya, are you going to VIP clubs?
That's something from the past, a long time ago. I've stopped going to VIP clubs now.
We've veered off topic quite a bit. But when do you think you'll be able to make the overdue rent payment? As stated in the documents, I need it to be paid within a week or else it'll be a problem.
I can't gather 2 months' worth of rent within a week.
Does your husband know about this?
There's no way he knows. I've made it appear to him that the rent has been properly paid.
If you can't make the payment, you have no choice but to consult your husband.
Stop it! I've already told my mother not to report anything to my husband.
But if you don't have the ability to make the payment, there's no other choice, right?
I understand. So I just need to prepare the money within a week, right?
If I can properly collect the payment, I won't say anything more than that. Okay, as promised, please. But if you say you can't prepare it, I'll have to contact your husband right away.
I got it.
1 week later.
Nicole, can I ask you a favor? Is that okay?
What favor? The deadline for the transfer is today, but you can't make the payment?
It's about that payment.
I can't extend the transfer deadline. It's impossible. I can't treat you differently from others, Maya.
Of course, I understand.
So were you able to prepare the money?
I haven't collected the full amount, but I managed to gather 1 month's worth somehow. I had to borrow from different places.
1 month's worth is not enough.
I know that, but this is the limit.
You can't pay the rent, but you can go to a VIP club.
Huh. What? I haven't been to a VIP club.
No need to hide it, really. One of the other moms saw you entering the VIP club with a young man, and it happened just 3 days ago. I even have photographic evidence. Would you like to see?
No! Who could have seen me?
It was Mary. Mary works at that nearby pub. She happened to spot you, Maya.
This is the worst. Of all people, you had to find out.
By any chance, did you accumulate your current debt at the VIP club? Otherwise, you wouldn't borrow $100,000, right?
That's right. It's true that I went to a VIP club. Lately, my husband has been coming home late, and I found myself with too much free time. I couldn't help but want to go.
You went to the VIP club at night, right? What about your child during that time?
My mother lives nearby, so I asked her to take care of my child. My mother loves her grandchild, so she gladly helped me out.
But you didn't tell your mother that you were going to the VIP club, right?
She would definitely be angry if I asked her to babysit while I went to the host club. I just made up something about starting a night job and casually brushed it off with my mother.
It's really pitiful how your mother was deceived.
But I had no other choice. If I didn't do this, I couldn't go to the VIP club.
Did you really prioritize playing over your own child? And on top of that, you went into debt. If you truly valued your family, you wouldn't do something like this, right?
It's none of your business what I do with my life. Don't interfere. Going to the VIP club is my own business, isn't it?
I don't mind you going to the VIP club, but not paying the rent is a problem. Since it seems like asking you hasn't resolved anything, I'll contact your husband now.
Oh, wait a minute. I don't want my husband to hear about this from you.
But if you don't have the ability to pay, you have no choice but to consult your husband, right? Besides, if they suddenly get kicked out of the house without knowing anything, it would be unfortunate for both your husband and child, wouldn't it?
Well, that's true, but...
Then why don't you talk to him directly?
No. Who could have seen me?
In that case, I'll talk to him on your behalf.
Wait a minute. Hey, listen to me.
A few hours later.
You really went and told my husband. He's furious and talking about taking the child and going back to his parents' house.
There's no other option. You've been diverting the living expenses he gave you, and not paying the rent. Even if it's not an affair, you are still supporting another man.
What will I do if this leads to a divorce?
You'll deal with it when the time comes. There's nothing I can do about it.
If I get divorced, I'll have to leave the high-rise apartment I've always dreamed of.
Well, the apartment is rented under your husband's name, right? But your husband said he intends to let go the high-rise apartment.
What? Is that true?
And maybe you didn't hear it.
I didn't hear anything.
According to what your husband told me, you started living in the high-rise apartment because of your own selfishness. You persistently begged your husband to let you live there, right?
Seriously. But even though he's a CEO, he said he prefers a more modest apartment that even common people can afford. And to top it off, he started talking about buying a more affordable home. It was a tough time back then.
Your husband was probably thinking about the future, trying to save money where he could, right?
That's right. He has money, but he's a bit stingy, or I should say, our fundamental ways of thinking are just different.
Well, if that's the case, wouldn't it be better to separate?
I can't just break up with him. Finally caught a CEO as my man, and got to live in a luxury high-rise apartment. If I divorce him, I won't be able to continue the luxurious lifestyle I've had so far.
But if he's considering selling the apartment, doesn't that mean he's planning to divorce you? This is just my speculation, though.
Huh?
Well, because the decision to live in the high-rise apartment was your wish, if he's trying to give up that high-rise apartment living, doesn't it imply something like that?
Maybe. That's a possibility. Besides, whenever he has something important to discuss, he always goes to his parents' place. What should I do? Can you help me convince him not to divorce?
If I intervene, it will only make things more complicated, right? Besides, I have no intention of getting involved in marital issues. Whether you and your husband get divorced or not, to be honest, it doesn't matter to me.
If we get divorced, I might not be able to stay as your mom friend anymore?
I don't really mind. In fact, I've been wanting to cut ties with you already.
Why would you say something so mean?
I've been constantly labeled as a poor person, ridiculed, and looked down upon all this time. Who would want to help someone who judges and belittles others without knowing their circumstances?
I'm sorry about that. I never knew that you were wealthy.
From now on, it's better to not judge people based solely on appearances and stop looking down on them.
Yes, I knew you wouldn't help me. You have no obligation or duty to help me, right? But Nicole, you're wealthy, and if I end up alone after the divorce, I'd like you to help me. I think I'll probably be cut off from my parents as well with this situation.
As I said before, I have no intention of helping you, Maya.
What? Are you trying to tell me that you and I live in different worlds? You don't want to associate with poor people.
It's because there's no benefit for me to be involved with you, Maya. I'm simply cutting ties. It's not like I dislike you or look down on you for being poor. Rest assured. Well, I don't think we'll have any further interactions, and I'll also block you on WhatsApp.
Wait a minute! Please, don't block me! I won't be able to contact the other mom friends either, and it will be really difficult for me.
Good luck from now on. Goodbye. Afterward, in the end, it seems that Maya and her husband decided to get a divorce. Custody was granted to her more financially stable husband. After the divorce, Maya was also responsible for paying child support. Furthermore, Maya ended up being disowned by her parents, and the only thing that remained for her was a debt of over $100,000. After the divorce, Maya moved to a rundown apartment and stopped going to VIP clubs. It seems like she is working tirelessly every day. On the other hand, her ex-husband is busy with work, so he has decided to live with his parents for a while. Their child doesn't seem to feel lonely at all, and is happily spending time with his beloved grandparents. I don't want to become a low-minded person who judges others based solely on their appearances.